In the realm of human relationships, countless unspoken cues exist, especially when it comes to expressing interest and desires. We often find ourselves in situations where discerning another person's true feelings becomes a genuine puzzle. Today, we will attempt to unravel some of these mysteries, focusing on how to recognize signs of a woman's interest and how to understand if a mature woman has long been without intimacy with a man. Each of us has likely been in a situation where it seemed impossible to grasp what the opposite sex was truly thinking or feeling. The renowned Canadian psychologist Desmond Morris, in his book Man Watching, notes that women frequently send nonverbal signals expressing their interest in a man, but unfortunately, many men fail to recognize them. Studies indicate that approximately 90% of men miss most of these subtle hints. Conversely, a woman's behavior can drastically change if she has been without intimate relationships with a man for an extended period. This can manifest in the formation of negative beliefs about men, increased aggression, or even vengefulness. Psychologists emphasize that such behavior isn't always a direct indication of a lack of intimate life but can serve as an important signal requiring attention. Thus, to better understand women and their signals, it's essential to consider both the context of their personal lives and their behavioral patterns in various situations. But how does one learn to recognize these signals and understand what lies beneath outward behavior? The main question we will endeavor to explore is, how to recognize a woman's display of interest and determine if a mature lady has been without a man for a long time. This question is vital not only for understanding female psychology but also for building healthy and harmonious relationships. The primary challenge lies in interpreting nonverbal cues. A woman may express her interest through subtle gestures, fleeting glances, and accidental touches. However, men often fail to notice or misinterpret these signs, leading to misunderstanding and missed opportunities. Moreover, a woman's lack of intimate life can manifest in aggressive or irritable behavior, which is also easily mistaken for something else. The task for men is to learn to notice and correctly interpret these signals to avoid misunderstandings and build deeper, more conscious connections. What specific signs indicate a woman's interest, and how can one tell if a woman has been without a man for a long time? The answers to these questions will help you act more confidently and effectively in the world of relationships. So, let's proceed to a detailed examination of the key signs that will help us decipher women's signals and behavior. 1. Accidental touches. If a woman is interested in a man, she will seek opportunities to touch him, even if it appears completely accidental. Light touches on the arm, a gentle stroke of the hair, or a friendly pat on the shoulder, all are subtle yet highly significant signals. If such touches are repeated, it's worth paying special attention. She might be trying to show her interest. 2. Prolonged eye contact. Holding a gaze for more than a few seconds is one of the clearest signs of interest. If a woman looks at you longer than usual, or doesn't look away when you return her gaze, it's a clear signal. In public places, such as on transport or in a park, such intense eye contact is hard to miss. 3. Playing with hair. Frequent adjustment of hair is another common sign. Women place great importance on their hair and often use it as a tool to attract attention. 4. Fabricated excuses. Sometimes, women may send you a photo under the pretense of asking for an opinion on a new hairstyle or swimsuit, or invite you to watch a movie. This is a clear attempt to capture your attention and create an additional reason to communicate. Pay attention to how a woman behaves in your presence, crossed legs pointed towards you, stroking various objects, adjusting clothing, all these can be signals of her interest. But what about signs that might indicate a lack of intimacy in a mature woman? 1. Negative beliefs about men. If a woman constantly complains about men, viewing them as unreliable or unworthy, this may be linked to a prolonged absence of intimate relationships. 2. Vengefulness and pettiness. Women who haven't had a man for a long time may become more irritable and prone to conflict. A lack of physical intimacy can lead to a decrease in happiness hormones, negatively impacting mood and behavior. 3. Decline in appearance. A lack of male attention often impacts a woman's appearance. She may take less care of herself, which is immediately noticeable. 4. Idealization and exaggerated expectations. Often, women who haven't had a partner for a long time begin to set overly high standards for potential partners, leading them to reject many. 5. Irritability and mood swings. Irritability and anxiety can be a direct consequence of a prolonged lack of intimate life. This is linked to a deficiency of oxytocin and endorphins, which are produced during physical intimacy. Understanding these signs will help you better understand women and build healthier, more understanding relationships. But remember that everyone is unique, and it's not advisable to draw hasty conclusions based solely on these signs. It's important to consider the context and individual characteristics of each woman. So, we reach the culmination of our analysis, the conclusions. Careful observation of women allows us to identify key moments that serve as unmistakable indicators of their interest or, conversely, a lack of intimate closeness. First, the peak of interest signals. When a woman displays a cascade of attention signs, frequent, subtle touches, prolonged eye contact, flirtatious hair playing, and inventive use of fabricated excuses for closeness, this is undeniable evidence of her attraction. At this moment, emotional tension reaches its peak, and her desire to attract a specific man's attention becomes obvious. In such a situation, one need only respond to her signals with due attention and understanding, perhaps taking the first step towards a closer acquaintance and the development of a potential relationship. Secondly, the peak of manifestation signaling a lack of intimacy. If a woman displays several characteristic signs at once, expressing negative beliefs about men in general, neglecting her appearance, and exhibiting vengefulness in her behavior, this may indicate a prolonged lack of intimate life. Recognizing this fact requires delicacy and tact in communication. Directly discussing such a sensitive topic can be perceived as tactless, so it's crucial to show empathy and caution in communication. The optimal solution in this case would be to show attention to her emotional state and seek ways to improve communication and mutual understanding. The culmination occurs when all previously observed signals and signs converge, allowing for unambiguous conclusions and the determination of a further behavioral strategy. Regardless of the specific situation, the key to success is attentiveness and sensitivity to both verbal and nonverbal cues, as well as behavioral patterns. Now, let's summarize and consider the potential consequences of our observations and actions. 1. Consequences of correctly interpreting signals of interest. If a man accurately recognized a woman's signals of interest and responded to them appropriately, this could lead to the beginning of new relationships or the strengthening of existing ones. Demonstrated attention and sensitivity will help build a strong and harmonious connection based on mutual understanding and respect. 2. Consequences of understanding a woman's prolonged lack of intimacy. If a man noticed signs indicating a woman's prolonged lack of intimacy and approached it with understanding and empathy, this could positively influence their interaction. The woman may feel support and attention, which will help her cope with emotional difficulties and restore inner balance. It is crucial to remember that delicacy and respect play a decisive role in this matter. In conclusion, it should be emphasized that correctly recognizing and understanding women's signals and behavioral patterns can significantly improve the quality of relationships. Show attentiveness, sensitivity, and respect, and this will undoubtedly lead to positive outcomes. What key takeaways can be drawn from all that has been said? First, understanding women's nonverbal cues and behavioral patterns is key to building successful and harmonious relationships. Women often express their feelings and interests through subtle gestures and signs that men need to be able to recognize and interpret correctly. Attentive men with developed empathy can significantly increase their chances of building strong and long-term relationships. Secondly, it's important to remember that the behavior of women who have long been deprived of intimate closeness also has its specific characteristics. Understanding these signs will help not only to avoid potential misunderstandings and conflicts but also to provide necessary support to a woman during a difficult period in her life. Empathy and attention to detail play a crucial role in this case. Continuously work on yourself, develop skills in understanding others, learn to empathize, and pay attention to details. Be sensitive and attentive, strive for mutual understanding and respect in relationships. This will help you not only in your personal life but also in interacting with those around you. Good luck in building strong and harmonious relationships.